Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, very quick video, this one. I will touch on this subject a bit more with G-Man when we sit down and record our pod in about 3 hours' time. But I did want to say a few words about the great man myself. The great man being Vasyl Lomachenko, who's decided to retire from the sport of boxing, age 37. His record was 18-3. He was a freeweight world champion. And he was one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life. True. Fact. One of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life. You know, I tweeted something a bit earlier. I said, boxing history won't be kind to Lomachenko. Just because, as I said, his record was 18-3. And that record, although good, doesn't sound fantastic when you compare it to the other greats, right? Some of the other greats are unbeaten. Floyd Mayweather is an example. Some of the other greats have had 50, 60 fights, right? Some of the other greats are free weight, undisputed world champions. So when you compare Loma's record to those, and you see all the hype and the plaudits Loma's getting, I mean, if you're looking at Loma's record in 50 years' time, you're like, wasn't that great? But if you watched him, if you just watched him, you realized that you were watching something special. The first time I saw him fight, I was like, what the fuck is this? Honestly, I realized I was watching a genius, an artist. He was just sensational. It's actually quite sad that he is retiring, but he's made the right decision. His body was broken actually. He had 2 shoulder surgeries. 37, fighting out of his weight class. Like, what he's doing at 135 pounds, I do not know. I mean, those guys are walking around, and I think you guys know this now, those guys are walking around at 160, 170 pounds and coming down. That's fact. And he certainly wasn't. So he was giving away so much weight, but he made up for that in pure talent. And it doesn't get more talented than Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, every record is there to be broken, right? Every record in any sports sort of field. Like, whatever your record is, in 5 or 10 years' time, someone's going to come along and break it, even though it seems impossible. Like, I'm a big athletics fan, you guys know this. Usain Bolt's records in the 100 and 200 will be broken. I'm telling you now. Vasyl Lomachenko's record of 396-1 as an amateur will never, ever be broken. Like, impossible. No one's going to get close to it. 397 amateur fights, 1 defeat. The defeat that he avenged, I think, 4 or 5 times over. Like, just a genius. And it, I'm going all over the place with this video, apologies. But it just pains my heart that, A, he fought outside his weight class, because size was the only thing that was going to get to him. It wasn't going to be skill, it was going to be size. And I think we saw that in his first defeat. Remember, Salido came in overweight. Think about this, by the way. His second fight, his first fight was for an international title. His second fight against Salido, a very sort of a tough, rugged veteran, was for a world title. His second fight. His third fight, after losing to Salido, I think by split decision, was against the unbeaten, at the time I think 24-0 Gary Russell Jr. He became a freeweight world champion, I think record time, something like 11 or 12 fights. Honestly, just sensational, man. I feel so privileged as a boxing fan that I watched him from his first pro fight to his last. You know, I saw the whole career. So fuck your record books, fuck history. I know what I was watching. And as I said, I was watching a genius. The one fight that made me feel like this guy is just outworldly great. And by the way, I mean, I could name about 10 of his fights. But the one fight where I saw him, and it's funny because it's a phrase I use quite a lot now, but it's because of Loma, of people downloading information and opening up the tool bag and just finding another tool, was when he fought Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares back in 2018 was still sharp, people. Still sharp. And again, Loma was giving away a lot in weight, a lot in size, reach as well. And Linares was having some success. And then fucking Loma went into that tool bag and just went bruh, 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 bruh. And Linares didn't know what to do with it. And I remember thinking, whoa. Like, I remember I saw it. Like, it's like I saw it in slow motion. I saw him do things and I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? It's like his brain had just gone to another gear. It's like he downloaded all that information and was like, I see. I need this tool. 1 second. Oh, man. You know, the best person to ever commentate on a Loma fight is Timothy Bradley, because Timothy Bradley used to always say things like that. Oh, he's just downloading information. He's going to get to him. He's just downloading information. And boy, oh boy, did he download information. He made 2 fighters say enough. Like Nicholas Waters, when he took on Nicholas Waters, I think his nickname was like the Axe Man or the Axe Murderer. And it was a tough fight. Nicholas Waters was unbeaten and he was knocking people out, like just starching them. Nicholas Waters, I think, went back to his corner after round 6 or 7. I was like, no, fuck this. I'm done. Like, I can't work this guy out. I can't land a glove. It's getting embarrassing. Done. And then obviously he fought Rigondeaux. And yeah, Rigondeaux was coming up a weight. I think 2 weights actually. But everyone was like, ooh, this could be dangerous. Because Rigondeaux at the time was just making it look easy. Again, an incredible amateur record. So it was like arguably the 2 best amateurs of all time going up against each other. And Rigondeaux, after 3 or 4 rounds, was like, I'm done. I can't deal with this. It's a shame, man. It's a shame that there wasn't really challenges at the time at feather or super feather, like really big, sexy names. Hence why he took that jump to lightweight. His first fight for a title at lightweight was against Pedraza. And even in that fight, Pedraza was causing him some issues. And then he just honestly, you see him go through the gears and people can't compete with that. But ultimately, he maybe just jumped too far with the weights. Obviously, Teofimo Lopez beat him fair and square. No issue with that. Salido, for me, is a problem because Salido, I think, failed a drugs test. His next fight, Salido cheated the scales as well. So I'd always have a problem with that fight. But I thought he beat Devin Haney. Honestly, I thought he beat Devin Haney. And I thought he was robbed. And that was the first time where I thought, my God, they've actually already got who they want to win. Because Devin Haney, the young guy, the upstart. But I thought he beat Devin in a close fight. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a robbery, but I thought he beat Devin. I remember he was the one that was supposed to go to Australia and fight Kambosos, not Devin Haney. But obviously the war broke out in Ukraine and he went back to Ukraine to be on the front line. To be on the front line with the Ukrainian army. Man, I'm going to miss him. You know, Floyd Mayweather, for me, was... And by the way, I miss Floyd as well. But Floyd Mayweather, for me, was that fighter where I remember watching, and especially when I started to understand boxing, like really understand it, having watched hours and hours and hours of tape of people. Floyd Mayweather was the first person I thought, he actually has clocked boxing. Like, he fully understands absolutely everything. Every move, punches that are coming back. Floyd was the first person. When I saw Loma, it was the first time I remember thinking, my God, he understands it more than Floyd. Like, and I don't know if that's true, but that's what came to mind at the time. Like, my God, this guy's like, it's like he's seeing everything in slow motion. He's that good. And then we hear the stories about his dad taking him away from boxing and put him in dance school. And that's why his feet were always so good. Nah, man, incredible. And Floyd knows. I mean, Floyd kept him away from Gervonta Davis for several years. It's weird now, all of a sudden Gervonta wants him now. And I'm like, oh, you want him now? Now he's 36 and injured. Now you want him. You didn't want him then, did you? You didn't want him 4 or 5 years ago. You want him now. But I'm happy that he has retired. I still think he could have caused all of these kids problems. Keyshawn, Shakur, Gervonta. But I do think all 3 would have got to him. And that's something I didn't want to see. So in a way, I'm happy that he's decided, you know what? It's a young man's game. My body's been through a lot. Again, you add 397 amateur fights into the equation, plus his pro career. Can you imagine the damage he's done to his body? And the way in which he trains as well. that kind of old Soviet Union type training, old school training. Yeah, he would have done his body, his hands, his elbows, his shoulders, his legs. Everything would have been sort of broken and put back together. But, man, it's sad. This is why I always say, enjoy your best fighters whilst they're still around. Stop moaning about them. I mean, look, it's easy for me to say. I do it as well. But when they're gone, they're gone. Like, enjoy AJ. Enjoy Fury. Enjoy Canelo. Enjoy Crawford. Enjoy Bivol. Enjoy Beterbiev. I mentioned those 6 or 7 fights because they've only got a year left. 2 years left, maybe. They're all gone. They're all gone. So enjoy them. Stop moaning about them. Just enjoy it, because when they're gone, it's actually quite hurtful. Like, Golovkin went without even really saying goodbye, and I'm still hurt by it because I loved Golovkin. But in terms of Eastern European exports, and I know someone's going to mention others, I think he was the most exciting that America probably ever seen. I mean, I know they got a bit of Golovkin. They got a little bit of Usyk. I think Usyk fought Michael Hunter in America. Obviously, the Klitschko brothers. But it was Loma. I thought, I said this was going to be a quick video. I'm fucking still talking. I thought that Loma's career would have been what Usyk's career is now. Like, everything that Usyk has done, 2-weight, undisputed world, I thought that was always going to be Loma. And look, it still was an incredible career. Again, a 3-weight world champion in record time. But I thought Loma would have been pound for pound #1. He was Fighter of the Year, I think, in 2017. And I think other awards in 2016. But I honestly thought that he would have been pound for pound #1 for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. So does that mean he's underachieved? I don't know. But that's how high I was on him, and still is on him. And yeah, it's a shame he's retired, but I think you should know when enough's enough in this sport, right? It's a young man's game, and he ain't young anymore. Anyway, look, as I said, me and Gman will talk a bit more about him later, but that was me ranting, raving all over the place. Hopefully it made some sense. But yeah, the great Vasyl Lomachenko has called it quits. It's a shame. Shame.